All right, this is Mrs. Naslund, and today we're doing Unit 11, Lesson 13, Mixed Practice with Decimals. Our learning targets for today are, I can understand the relative size of decimal numbers, and I can add and subtract decimal numbers to 3 places. So, first thing I'm going to look at is the first one here, and it says, I can find the difference between the numbers using mental math. So in my head, I'm going to look at these numbers and see if I can find the difference. So I've got 99 hundredths minus 11 hundredths. Well, I know right away that 9 minus 1 is 8, and there's 2 of those. So I'm going to end up with 8 hundredths as my answer. How about these ones? I have 356 thousandths minus 6 thousandths. I see right away that there's a 6 and a 6, and I know that 6 minus 6 is 0. So I'm going to end up with 35 hundredths left, right? If I drop that 0, I'd end up with 35 hundredths. Now go ahead and try 3 on your own. All right, so we have 7 hundredths and 27 hundredths. So I see the 7 and a 7 again, and I know if I subtract 7 minus 7, I get a 0. So you would end up with your 20 hundredths. Great job. Let's go ahead and try to solve this problem next. It says, David's kite had a tail that was 1 5/10 meters long. David made it 75 hundredths meters longer. How long is the kite now? So I know if it says longer that I'm adding. So I'm going to add my 1 5/10 tail plus my 75 hundredths tail. I'm going to add those together and figure out how many total meters I have together. I'm going to put some zeros in here to make it a little less confusing. Go ahead and add. 5 plus 0 is 5. 5 plus 7 is 12. 1 plus 1 is 2. Make sure I bring that decimal down. So it is 2 and 25 meters long. All right, now I want you to go ahead and try this one on your own. Let me read it to you. It says, Carlos feeds his hamsters 9 hundredths pounds of seed mixed with 15 hundredths pounds of oatmeal every day. How many pounds of food do the hamsters get? So we know that it's mixed together and they get it each day. So they're asking you to add these two numbers. So go ahead and line up your decimals and add it, and let's see how you do. All right, so if I go ahead and write this out, add 15 hundredths plus 9 hundredths. I'm going to add those together. 9 plus 5 is 14, so 4 carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Bring down my decimal point and my 0. So we end up with a total of 24 hundredths pounds of food. All right, great job. Now, down here, it says refer to the drawing and estimate each answer by rounding the number to the nearest tenth. So we're going to round to the nearest tenth for each of these, and then we're going to estimate the answer. So how far is it from Justin's house to Dana's house? So here's Justin, here's Dana, and they want us to round to the nearest tenth. So I look at this number. There's nothing behind it, so I know that I have to leave it the same. So we've got 11 9/10 meters. And we have this one, which I look to the spot behind the tenths, which is 5, and I get to round it up. So I've got 12 5/10 meters. I want to go ahead and add those. So again, the trick to adding is to make sure those decimals are all aligned. So 12 5/10 plus 11 9/10. All nice and aligned. Go ahead and add that up. 9 plus 5 is 14. 4 carry my 1. I'll go ahead and bring down that decimal before I forget. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So we're going to estimate that it's about 24 4/10 meters from Dana's house from Justin's house to Dana's house. All right. Now let's go ahead and try this one. How far does Anna have to walk to school? So here's Anna. She has to walk to school. So we've already done part of the work. We already have estimated this one. Now we're going to round this one to the tenths, which is really going to be just, again, 10.8 because there's nothing behind it. So we need to add 12 5/10 to 10 8/10. So go ahead and add that up and let's see how you do. All right, let's see. So we have 12 5/10 plus 10 8/10. We add those up. 13. Carry the 1. Bring down that decimal. 2 plus 1 is 3. We get 2. We end up with 23 3/10 meters that they need to walk for number 12. All right, now the next one is just a good to know. This isn't a tested thing, but it's good to know how to do, so we're going to do a couple just to practice it. It is multiplying decimals. And the cool thing is, once I show you this, you know how to multiply. It's just understanding what to do with that decimal. So I'm going to practice a couple of these together. All right, so the first one is 74 cents times 8. So it's the same thing that you do with regular multiplication. I'm going to make sure that I write it out real clearly. We'll make it just a little bit bigger. We're going to multiply. All right, so first thing we do is we go ahead and multiply our 8 times 4, just like we normally would. So 8 times 4 is 32, so put my 2 here, carry my 3. And then we've got 7 times 8, which is 56, 57, 58, 59, 9, and then we carry our 5. Now with the decimal, you bring it down. So it was 2 over here, it was into the 100 spot, so I'm going to bring it right down right there. And now I'm going to multiply my 1 spot. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. So when I do 74 cents times 8, I end up with $5.92. Let's do one more together before I have you try it on your own. So we have 19 7/10. We're going to times it by 4. So 7 times 4 is 28. Carry the 2. 9 times 4 is 36, 37, 38. Now I want you to notice the decimal is right there, so I'm going to bring it down. Okay, 38, so put my 8 here. Carry my 3. And then we go 4 times 1 is 4, 5, 6, 7. So we end up at 19 7/10. So 19 7/10 times 4 is 78 8/10. All right, on your own, on your whiteboard, I want you to go ahead and try this one. 37 hundredths times 8. So go ahead and work on that, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this just to make it more clear. 37 hundredths times 8. All right, 8 times 7 is 56, so 6, carry the 5. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 5 is 29, so put the 9 here, carry my 2. Now, see right here, I get to bring down my decimal. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. So 37 hundredths times 8 is 2 96 hundredths. Great work. Today we reviewed a lot of skills. We practice with using mental math. We practice adding and subtracting our decimals and rounding them, and then we even got into multiplying some of our decimals. Great work.